Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday,
Hello,
everybody.
And welcome to Live from Rabs, from inside Rabs Country Lanes.
So, you know what's really funny is that
What's really funny, Naz?
if they could see the 2 minutes, like the 2 minutes before we actually live, it's pretty funny. We should probably tape that because that would...
We could just push live, and then they could watch whatever's happening, and then we could just
Could we do that and play the music? Because I think the music is what gets us...
That music is okay. I mean, it's not copyrighted music.
You know, actually, I'm sitting in my dining room, which is temporarily my office, doing work, and my husband's inside watching TV in the living room, and I hear the music, and I was like, did he put Facebook on the TV and he's watching our show? And it wasn't. It was
the State Farm.
It was fast. What's that?
Fast Signs.
Fast Signs. Yes, correct. And I was like, what? They stole our song?
Fast Signs stole our music, but it's not. But they've edited it. It's
different. Little, right. Yes.
But it's oh my God, what is today? Not Wednesday.
Oh, today's Tuesday. Did I say? I said Wednesday. Yeah, nobody called us on it.
No, Ronnie just did.
Oh, yes, Ronnie did.
Happy Tuesday.
That should explain to you what is going on here right now.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. Hi, Pam. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Pam.
Dennis, happy anniversary. 16th anniversary of being wed in Egypt.
Oh, well, Dennis, I think you should share some of your wedding photos with us. I think that would be... thank you, everybody, for catching me on my incorrect day.
It's funny. I was sitting here going, wait a second. I was thinking about our guests, and today can't be Wednesday.
It can't be.
But, I mean, it can be. I mean...
In my head, maybe it is. I mean, honestly, there's no difference to the days right now.
Will I ask Ray what day it is?
No.
He's put up shelves today.
Yep. He even came up. We had a problem with one of his shelves. He came up with a little solution for the end of it, and he's in there trucking along.
Have at it. Well, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
So we were saying, the few minutes before we come on the air, now I almost took a picture of Nazareth. Nazareth was sitting here on the TikTok, scrolling through the TikTok as she was eating her lunch, and which was fine, which was cool. And then I looked at the time, and I was like, and almost, I should have taken a picture in the moment, but maybe that's the behind the scenes of the making of a show. I think we could push live at like 1:00 and not come on the show till 2, but everybody could see what is happening around us.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I know it's not the same surprising, but we'd be prepared for it.
Yeah.
We don't want to be prepared for it.
I don't want to be prepared.
So we need somebody else just to.
Yeah. Don't mention, because Liz will definitely do that.
Almost like how I caught you. I have not shown the video.
Please don't.
I have not shown the video, but I have video of you dancing and singing while you're painting in the pro shop. I might have to show when everybody gets to see the new paint scheme in the pro shop. I might have to share that video because I don't want to show it, and it's
Well, maybe when we're done with the front and we do an official
unveiling
debut.
Ooh. All right.
Maybe we'll show it then.
Maybe you'll go behind the scenes and get it right this time. I mean, the first one we did was great. We talked about this yesterday. And then the second one, not so good. I mean, it was good, but we struggled a little bit with the camera.
Me. It was me. I admit.
We are a team. We're a production team here, Naz.
Then you should have made my camera so I could turn it around.
Well, I thought you knew how to do it.
Not it. You couldn't even figure it out.
There's video proof. It took me like 5 seconds. But I didn't know how to do it right away.
But you weren't under the pressure of the
I wasn't. I was not under the pressure. I wasn't. And you know what's funny? If anybody's friends with Tina on the Facebook, Tina posted a video.
She videoed me struggling with the camera, which was awesome.
I have to go save that. Maybe I'll ask her to send that to me so I have it. That's a good behind the scenes footage of what it takes to make this production happen.
Everything that should be burned. Thank you.
No. Yes, this is episode 70. We've been at this for 70 episodes.
And you know what? It's only fitting that we would have today's guest on who is a YouTube sensation.
He is.
He is somebody that is, I mean, listen, if you like bowling and you're on YouTube and you don't know who this is, then you're missing out.
You know, and it's funny. It's a couple of things I wanted to ask him and talk to him about, specifically about that, and that's one of the reasons why he's on the show today. Our good friend John McLaughlin's here with us today, and we'll talk a little bit about some classic bowling. I dubbed him the keeper of classic bowling.
He is. He is the keeper of. That's perfect.
Keeper of classic bowling.
He certainly is that.
I'm glad he's with us today, and I have friends in our industry that have asked me about John.
Yeah.
Because they know that he's from New York City, and then when I tell them he's from Staten Island, they go, "Wait a second, I knew that." But sometimes they never seen the man in person.
Correct.
They just know him from his alias, Irishpogi.
And if they're watching today, they're going to get to see him in the flesh. Because he's a behind the scenes guy. He's kind of not like me and you, where we're like, "This is it. This is our product." He's like, he likes to. Actually, I wanted. I was looking for cyber vision actually. And for those of you who don't know, Cybervision was a video with no words. It was like an instructional. Somebody's at the door.
It's Tuesday. I think it's probably the
video
exterminator.
And it was just a long video of Marshall Holman and Johnny Petraglia bowling. And it was just looped over and over again with background music. And it was built on the premise of you watch the tape and you're actually practicing. Yes, and I can still hear the music. But it was something that when it first came out, Ray and I watched it all the time. And then when Ray got sick and he didn't bowl for a while, it was something that we wanted to text Liz.
I did.
Oh, okay. It was something that, I wanted him to watch to kind of get him back in the flow of things. And we couldn't find it anywhere. Nowhere. And John was able to come up with it and help me out and post it so that...
Don't you have it on VHS?
I had it on VHS, but I couldn't find it on YouTube or anywhere that was playable. Now, I don't... Who has VHS anymore?
Good point. So, I mean, here at Rabs we do.
Correct. Well, I needed it from a VHS to a CD or something that could be watched. Anyway, he took care of it for me, and he did a great job. And he refused to accept any.
Well, it's a cool video, and so I haven't. Ray used to put it on in the back every so often. Or I like a couple days where he had it on in the front of the shop, and everybody's like, "What is this?" And they're just watching Johnny swing his arm.
And actually, a couple coaches that we've had on have brought up the when they talked about the mental game in bowling, that you don't have to be actually doing the physical motion of your sport to be practicing, because if you use mental imagery, you still are firing the same neurons as if you were physically practicing. So, I mean, and that is what this whole premise was built on. And it wasn't, they didn't just have a bowling. They had it for a bunch of different sports. And so, yes, it's there and it's highly recommended. For those of you who are not bowling right now, which is pretty much everybody.
Here, at least. Here.
Yes.
Around the country, people
not our international or nationwide
viewers.
Viewers, yes.
Our viewers from all over the country many of them have started to go back to bowl, which I think is exciting. Hey, I got a quick shout out. I had our friends Ryan and John Williams were on the show yesterday.
Right.
Williams Iworks.
You had a little trip to Ryan.
My mother and I had an appointment today. We went there, and an hour and a half later, we spent some money. We've got new glasses, much
Did you
needed.
Get new glasses?
Yeah.
I can't wait till they're unveiled. You have to unveil.
We'll have an unveiling. And Ryan talked about the delivery service. Maybe we'll ask Ryan. Ryan, if you're still watching, maybe he'll deliver them here right on the set of
that would be. That makes me want to go.
Although I don't know if that's a good thing, because so funny. You take the eye exam and you learn something new every time.
Right.
And I have to say that the doctor that he's got is fantastic.
Yeah.
And Dr. Zielinski. And he said to me, he a little perplexed by how I was actually answering some of the questions. And he's got all these little gadgets, which is really cool. You step 1, 2, 3, 4.
The
look at the red barn, then take a picture, the image of your eye, that photo of the back of the eye. So and then of course
So
the old
much
eye chart
technology now.
has completely changed. I mean, the idea is still there, but the way that it's done. So I could tell like a little hesitance in when I was answering. And at the end, after he goes, he's almost, are you sure? Like, I have to say, an eye exam is one of those things I think is a tricky thing to begin with.
It's like a test.
It is a test, but at the same time, I feel like I'm being set up, or because you're answering the questions. Can you see this? Read this top line, bottom line,
right?
And it's almost like you're being tricked. Like, are you being tricked? Because you learn something new every time they show you a new lens.
Right.
1, 2, back.
Which
and
is
forth.
better. And I always have to do. Can you do that again?
I just don't answer.
Can you do that? Oh,
I don't
really?
answer.
Oh, really?
Which
this one or this one? This one or this one?
Yeah, 1 or 2. And I'm like, I don't answer because obviously that means I'm not committed to one.
Right.
So then he says, no, he actually, the current glasses I have on, my prescription is a little too strong. So he was concerned. He says, well, I can't push you too long. And who knows, at the time I got my last eye exam, I don't know.
Right. You don't know.
But he asked specific questions. I told him I take my glasses off if I'm working at my computer, and that's a sign. And so he asks specific questions to get you to understand more.
Right. And how you use them.
And that was a big thing. And I don't know if I've ever really been asked some of those questions.
Right.
So it was excellent. A great experience. And so thank you. And of course, they learned that in ophthalmologist school. And but it's the way that it's done.
Right.
And so now my prescription, he goes, I want you to see 20/20, but you're seeing almost like you're seeing too much.
Right.
And that's why you're taking your glasses off in certain cases. And then he had me put on the glasses as if and I was like, oh, but it's going to take you a little while to get used to because you've gotten so used to this prescription.
So now is he making it so that you keep them on all the time?
He says, yeah, you'll probably be less apt to take them off when you're reading. And I will say, when I put those on and I sat there and read something, I was more comfortable. And he goes, read the last line. He just meant to read it. So I read it. He laughed. I was like, what? And he put these on and read it. I was like, it's the same thing. But I will say
it was more clear. It was more clear.
Yeah, I didn't strain. It was just the complete opposite of what you. So I never thought I had a strong prescription to begin with.
Right. Because you don't. And that's the scary thing is that, your eyes are. It's a scary thing. So what happened with your mom with the?
He recommended some ointment to use on the lid. Of her eye. Very specific instructions. Hey, if you can get this medication and it's covered, I want you to use this and use it for this many days for whatever. And then if you happen to get this one, use it for this, because there's a generic and the name brand.
Right.
He really suggested a name brand, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
So if you're covered for it, great. If not, if you're willing to spend the money, go for it. But he gave us another option.
Right.
And which is great because some people are willing. I mean, it was $190. It's not a cheap.
That's right.
That's a lot.
And it's for something. What is she going to use it for? A week or 10 days?
You can use it for a couple weeks. Yeah. So if it's covered, great. If not, use a generic, no problem. But you're going to use it a little bit longer.
Right. Probably.
So she certainly needed that. She was excited. Okay. She got it. She picked out new glasses.
Oh.
So I will tell you, we were there for an hour and a half. We spent, of course, talking a lot of time between talking with Chris. Haven't seen Chris and Ryan. He took out a bunch of glasses, which I felt bad because now you have to clean them all. But the experience was very different than it typically would be.
So did Ryan pick out the glasses?
Ryan picked glasses for both my mother and I. And I will say he got hers quicker than me. I'm a little bit more picky. And I almost want to tell him I want those other glasses also. Because there was another pair I liked. And I was like, oh, I like these. I don't like these. And then she said no. And then I got a little different. But he was excellent. And then she picked up a pair. She goes, I like these. Don't show me anything else. And I was like, that's not fair either.
Right.
Go ahead. Take a look.
Right.
And she did. She picked out. She's very happy.
Good.
Hey, Rob.
Hi. How are you?
Welcome to the party, the inner sanctum. Do you need the keys for the rooms?
I have everything.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So we're bug-free, which is important for when everybody comes back. We're clean and we're bug-free. We'll continue to be bug-free. We just have birds in the ceilings in a couple spots. I mean, they're just nesting everywhere. 'Tis the season. Anyway, we can go on. I want to bring in our special guest. So John McLaughlin,
was tired of listening to stories.
Yeah, I wanted to share that because he was with us yesterday, and shout out and
Yeah.
thank you. I'm looking forward to those. So John is with us today. Hey, John.
Hi, John.
Hey guys,
How are you today?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
We're hanging in there.
Very well.
And I know we've chatted. You've been watching the show. One sec, Ro Kotrochi, we miss you too. We certainly haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah.
John, how are you holding up?
It's been testy, but I've been hanging in there, and I've been just basically just trying to stay out of trouble. Been working from home.
I was gonna say you are working, so you're not doing on-site. You're strictly working from home.
Correct. Everything's remotely performed.
And you have become the Bionic Man, and so are you back? Are you ready to get back to bowling at full speed, or what?
Well, if you find this very, very strange, since the shutdown was instituted, my knee has improved so much that my physical therapist is able to get it to bend 135 degrees without batting an eyelash. Imagine what happened if I would start bowling, then that would go down the tubes. I mean, he would work on me a little bit, and then we can get it to 140 degrees. But now I've been basically starting to get back into the exercise mode of things and just trying to, keep everything strong and functional.
Yeah. So maybe that time off and maybe, taking it easy for a couple months was actually really good for your knee.
Yeah, it was. That's what my doctor thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, that's good to hear because I know you are passionate about bowling, and it's been frustrating for you. You've had, some injuries and some stuff going on with your knee, and when things like that set us back, it's when you can't be where you want to be, it's tough.
I'm no spring chicken. I'm 57 years of age, and this is something that I have to work with.
Spring chicken.
Comparative to Naz, you're a spring chicken.
I don't cook as good.
Yeah, and Naz touched on it. You come down and you watch every bowl, and I know you just want to be in there bowling, and so you had a couple setbacks, and so I'm glad to hear that you're doing all right.
Yeah,
and,
we're happy about that.
You'll practice a little bit, and you'll be back in shape before you know it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, and I know that my physical game is rusty. I want to be able to work on my footwork, my timing, my release, just trying to fine-tune some mechanics. And I'm actually thinking about, when I return to bowling, I'm thinking about going to 5 steps because I know that I'm going to need more momentum and ball speed, especially on today's conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so I got to ask the first question. Where did the nickname Irishpogi come from?
Okay, well, it's a simple question that has a simple answer. Irishpogi was born 13 years ago, and Irish, my last name is Irish, and Pogi, P-O-G-I, is a Filipino word, Tagalog word meaning handsome. So I figured, the two would fit very, very well. I don't think, Irish guapo would be well. I mean, or another foreign language.
I love it.
There it is.
I love it. I didn't know. I didn't even know that Pogi meant handsome. I just assumed that you were handsome.
All you gotta do is ask Fernan Hand Dog. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
There it is. I'm gonna call Frankie Bowling Pogi.
Bowling Pogi. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I mean, that's better than calling me
some of the other things.
The Italian or whatever.
Oh, it's not. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So tell us about your YouTube passion. How did that get started?
Well, back around late 2006, early 2007, there was one particular individual from the great state of Michigan that was posting classic footage on YouTube. He's my friend Keith Kingston. He's from Farmington Hills. He actually bowls league in a center owned by Alita Sill, and Mr. Bowling 300 channel was a very, very popular channel, and he was basically putting up bowling related clips from the past, and I would see him contributing stuff to the YouTube channel, and I'm there like chomping at the bit. I got so much stuff I want to add to, but I just didn't have the technical know-how to pull it off. So once I learned how to, basically take stuff from a VHS tape and create video files, then I was off and running. It took me a while to learn how to use certain programs and improve settings, and once I got the hang of it, Katie barred the door. I was off and running.
So going back, you just had all these VHS tapes of telecasts.
I do, yes.
And how large is that collection?
I would say now maybe it's in the hundreds.
And then are you still recording today? And have you moved all of those old shows to YouTube, or do you still have a collection that slowly but surely is still adding to YouTube?
I still have a few things that I need to add to YouTube. I mean, I have a few broken tapes that I need to sit down and figure out how to repair them. And once I repair them, then I'll be adding more. And that's practically it.
John, I have to say that bowling with some of the ladies from the past, I do appreciate that you have something a little special for the older LPBT, which is really, really nice to see.
I do. The reason why I have such a great love for watching women's bowling is because in order for them to score on some of the brutal patterns that they face, their mechanics have to be so spot on. It's like watching synchronized swimming.
Yeah, it definitely, the women's game is definitely a different game. And, I've heard from more than a few people that it's more relatable to an amateur bowler, that they could they could relate to a woman bowler easier than they could relate to a man bowler, a male professional, just because their game is more basic. And like you said, they are the women on the tour, that they repeat shots, and they're super accurate. And those are the two things that keep them, the ones that are really good. That's how they excel.
Yep. Plus, the conditions back in the 80s when you had short oil, the individuals that did very, very well were the ones with the low ball tracks, like Betty Morris, Lisa Wagner, Laurie Nichols. They all spun the ball.
They did. They really did.
So, do you, in this day and age of copyrighted, I hate to even ask this question in public forum, but in this day and age of copyrighted material, has anybody broken your chops about sharing that content on YouTube in public forum?
Well, not really in public forum. I mean, I have gotten a copyright strike in the past. I remember 2016, I had gotten myself a whole bunch of DVDs from a friend from across the country with a whole bunch of championship bowling episodes. And once I began posting them, then I actually had my channel almost decimated. I had like 2 copyright strikes issued against my account, and the third would have closed the curtains for Irishpogi for good. But we worked all that out. What happened was I think the International Bowling Museum and Hall of Fame was trying to get my attention to try to figure out ways to help them with their bottom line, which was trying to find ways to increase their revenue in order for them to take some of the footage that they have and digitize it.
Well, yeah. So and I didn't ask the question because of that. I just figured that it's a very touchy subject these days. So
Yeah.
I could see that somebody that owns it's great content, and if anybody that, and I've shared the link to the page here, anybody that's into classic bowling, check
Right.
it out because he's got hundreds of videos. He's got a bunch of videos,
Absolutely.
and it's stuff that you can't find elsewhere. But to your point about the Hall of Fame, when Mike Albee was on, he talked about their campaign. They've got all this actual reels,
Right.
film reels that they're trying to save and then digitize and have available. So yeah, that certainly makes sense. And I know that between USBC and the PBA, they each have a collection of videos that maybe we just haven't gotten around to
Right.
preserving it, or it's been preserved. It takes a lot of effort to
Yeah.
digitize it. So to your credit, you said it does take some time, even to throw that VHS tape in the device to then set it out, make sure it's all good, review the whole footage.
Right. Change the settings if they need to be changed.
And I also make sure that the original commercials don't get put in there. I try to edit the commercials out because I know that if you're going to put the classic commercials in there, it's going to take far less time to post on YouTube than if you were to edit the commercials out.
That's a good point. So
Yeah.
So the shows all are like just the shows.
Yeah.
It's funny because then you get the break to TV, you get the break to commercial, and then hey, look at that! That was fast. What would you? And I have to say, if you spent more time, I don't know how much more time you could spend there, but you've got 7.8. I just checked this out before, almost 8,000 followers, which is pretty cool.
That's incredible.
And then 17 million views.
That's 13 works. That was 13 years of work. I mean, I've only opened the Irishpogi YouTube account in January 2007, so it's a teenager.
Yeah, that's cool. And YouTube has recognition for that stuff. I don't know how it starts with views or subscriptions, but one of those fancy plaques could be on its way to you at some point.
Yeah, they've been dangling carrots in front of me for a long time, but I don't bite because I don't want ads on my videos.
Oh, so okay. So so if you monetize, that's how they. Who cares? Get some ads in there. Make some money. But
He's not selling out, Frank.
No, it's all about
you.
love, which I think is cool.
So John, I know that in addition to posting these videos, that you speak to some of the bowlers, and in particular, I know you talk to a lot of the ladies going back from the LPBT tour. So tell us about that, how that kind of came about.
I actually met some of these individuals during my trips to the USBC Open Championships. I've been bowling in those tournaments on and off since 2009, and I met quite a few of them along my journey, including Dee Dee Davidson. I met Tish Johnson. I met Betty Morris. There's a whole load of people that I've actually had communicated with, and it's been great. I mean, the reason why I've created my YouTube channel, to be honest, is to basically put the individuals that were stars of yesteryear and try to make sure that they're never forgotten.
Right. Yeah, and that's and I'm sure they get a kick out of seeing it there too. It kind of carries on, their legacy that can, so easily be overshadowed too.
Yep. Speaking of which, there was one individual that passed away late last night. There was an individual from San Diego area that made a telecast in Baltimore in 1992. Angelina Ramsey passed away at the age of 69 from breast cancer. So let's extend our thoughts and prayers to her family and members of the bowling community in San Diego.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So, how do you find the, I don't want to say interest, but so what keeps you motivated to keep posting and to keep, going forward with your Irishpogi channel?
Well, people love bowling, and I want to make sure that some footage that they've never seen gets seen.
All right, there you
because
go.
it wouldn't be seen. It wouldn't be seen if it wasn't for somebody like John, the keeper of classic. Did you hear? I got you a new tagline. You're the keeper of classic bowling.
He likes that. He wants credit for that. So when you use it, Irishpogi, keeper of classic bowling, he wants his little byline on
No,
there.
forget about, instead of trademarking it, you could just put a little FW in the corner. And so, of your collection,
yes,
do you have a favorite telecast that you've watched and that brings back some memories of watching it when they were live?
Yeah, watching John Handegaard's very, very first title, the 1990 PBA Hammond Senior Open. Prior to that particular telecast in July of 1990, almost 30 years ago, John was a journeyman player and didn't really have much success on the senior tour and didn't really have much success on the national tour. But here we are, July of 1990. He qualifies third. He wins his first game on television by defeating Bobby Meadows in a close match. Then he defeats Hall of Famer Les Sykes, and then he takes on a little-known lefty from Michigan by the name of Richard Beattie. And John actually had won his first senior title, and it actually ended up becoming the first of 14 senior titles all told. And the following week, he actually won in Battle Creek, climbing from the number 4 position. So I always enjoyed watching John Handegaard bowl because he's a technician. I just love watching him bowl. I mean, he's got a very, very classic game. Nice fluid arm swing, gets through the shot very, very well. He's accurate, and his ball strikes.
He's got everything there.
He's got everything. I will say even later on in on the senior tour and even in the USBC senior events, John has done very well, successful for himself, made a few bucks, earned continued to earn titles.
So John, of the modern day players, who do you consider among your favorites? I won't ask you to pick one. Just tell us who you like.
Okay. Amongst the modern day bowlers, for the women, I would have to give the nod to Daria Pajak. I enjoy watching her game. I mean, and then there's another woman I enjoy bowling. I mean, I enjoy watching bowling, and I think she's going to be a superstar. I call her the Donna Adamek Jr. Verity Crawley.
Yes, yeah, she's been. Her name has come up a couple times too.
You watch Verity bowl, and then you watch Donna Adamek bowl. You'll see lots of similarities.
I'm gonna have to do that. I mean, I bowled with Donna several times, and she was a tough little cookie.
She was ahead of her time.
Yeah, she definitely was. She definitely was.
And as far as the PBA is concerned, I would have to give the nod to EJ Tackett.
Okay, so why do you pick EJ?
Well, he's a little guy that gets a lot on the ball, and he repeats very, very well. If he keeps his emotions in check, he actually can do he can do better than what he's doing. And I know that bowling is a very, very emotional sport, especially when money's on the line. Titles are on the line, prestige is on the line. It's a lot of pressure on one's shoulders, and the ones that can weather all that the best are the ones that enter the Hall of Fame and get all sorts of recognition.
Yeah, sure. And there have been some of the other guests that we've had on, professionals that have talked and even brought his name up too.
Yeah, absolutely.
As that rising star, which is, I mean, if you watch him, I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So away from the PBA for a moment, your favorite bowling movie?
Dreamer.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Why?
or because Dick Weber's in it?
No, all right.
You asked, I told.
I mean, that wouldn't. I don't. It's and you didn't even hesitate. You totally didn't even hesitate on
like
that
he was
one.
waiting for that question. Did you set him up?
He was. No, I didn't set him up. He was just like, bam. That is a good one. That is a good one. You don't hear that. You don't hear that. Everybody goes for the classic. You know.
Or the silly Kingpin, or
Kingpin's a classic, but it's silly. It is silly.
Bill Murray he's a funny guy. Who's your favorite comedian? Speaking of comedians, who's your favorite comedian? I love comedy.
Oh, of all time, I would have to give the nod to Steve Martin.
Oh, wild and crazy guy.
Absolutely.
And lately playing with his banjo.
Yes.
Yes. Well, hey, he's getting up there, so he has to do something to keep the mental faculties kicking.
He's up there with us, John. He's probably older than me.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He's up there.
Hey, so for those that are watching, I put the link in here again. Check out John's YouTube channel. Look up Irishpogi, the handsome Irish guy from Staten Island.
There it is.
For some classic bowling TV shows, ladies and men, right? There's a lot of mix.
Yeah.
A lot of the lady stuff but stuff you wouldn't get to see elsewhere. So subscribe to the channel, check it out. If you want your bowling fix, I mean, you could go sit there and binge watch some classic bowling.
Yeah.
Thanks to John's collection.
And people have done that, yes.
I'm sure they have. Hey, John, thank you so much for popping in and joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you taking the time. Pleasure. You are the best, and we will see you soon on the lanes. And I got to go. I'm going to go get my fix later and watch some bowling.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it too.
Yeah, well, if you want to watch something incredible, watch Carmen Salvino and Dick Weber in 1963 at the Championship Bowling. I think the telecast takes place in Parkersburg, West Virginia. That's the center where Sean Rash won his first title.
Well, there you go, Frank.
Oof. All right.
Is your recommendation. And if you had to pick a ladies match, what would you pick?
I think you guys would enjoy the 1992 Women's U.S. Open won by Tish.
Tish, crazy. She's a crazy.
Another fierce competitor.
She's.
Yep.
Sad.
Cool. All right, we're on it. And so everybody else, you have homework. If you're watching, you have homework tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, John, we'll see you soon. Thanks again.
Thank you, John.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
And
stay safe, everyone.
Yes,
yeah, you too.
Thanks, John.
You too.
Okay.
I love his passion for bowling. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Whenever I talk to somebody like that, it is staggering to me how he remembers dates, matches, like
super fan.
That is, I honestly, you know what? Like some people are like they watch an artist and they can't. Well, I'm that way with artists too. But when somebody has a memory like that, it just amazes me.
Joe Cal joins us in the studio.
He's another one. I tell him all the time. I don't know how you keep all that stuff in that small head.
Yeah.
I don't mean his head is small. I just mean it's a regular sized head, but he has a lot of stuff in it.
Go ahead, dig. Keep digging. Joe, I know you're going to be watching this later. Go ahead, keep digging.
Yes, we'll get the little text tonight around 9. With the critique of our show. Yeah, no, I would love to get a couple people like that, like in a room and just like hear them volley back and forth about, remember what, oh my God, and you know what else happened then? And, just because it makes it feel like it just happened yesterday.
Makes you feel like you like to.
Makes it feel like you like to.
Hey, listen, that's a future show here on Live from Rabs. I think that maybe that's the job for Donnie Walters. Curating that conversation with Joe and a couple of those guys. It really is impressive. I can't even retain some of the live TV shows that I've gone to. Like
I can't remember really. If it happened like before 2 days ago, I'm definitely a squirrel. No, obviously I remember things, but not like people like who have that great memory is just amazes me. I really amazed. I told you, I watch Pam in the morning, and I'm like, she's just rattling off, this restaurant and who the owner is, and da da da. And they used to work here, and now they did this, and I'm like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, we Nez, don't sell yourself short. We all have that info. We all retain something, and we all retain information. We have conversations and we laugh about it, but like, how the hell do you remember that? Like, we remember other things, but I will when it comes to stuff like this,
I do
struggle.
remember my junior bowlers. Like, I could see them years later,
Yeah.
and I remember them. I remember their names. I remember their families. But just when somebody has a wide range, it's just amazing to me.
It really is, and it's not.
And it's a gift, and it's wonderful
it's a gift.
that they can. It's a gift.
It's a gift.
But it's amazing, to be around that and be able to share that. So I think John's channel is great. I go in there and I watch all the time, and it's just
I've
good.
gone in there after having conversations here. I've gone in there
just to check
just
it out,
to look, and I'll just search, and his channel comes up because he's the one that's posted it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are others. There are other things that pop up too, but this is the most prominent because of one. You already subscribe, so you already see the content and he adds stuff, and then he also takes it and shares it on Facebook. I never really looked at how many subscribers and views he's had.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah. And I mean, John, if you monetized it, there could be a little bit more there and make a few extra bucks on the side. But
he's not selling out.
He's not selling out, and it's because of his passion and love for the sport of bowling, which, I mean, we all have.
Unlike our friend John Krasinski.
Well, John Krasinski sold out. I don't blame him. I would too, but he got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah, he did.
And speaking of selling out and making money, tonight's Mega Million jackpot is $356 million.
I'll be buying a couple tickets.
So yeah, listen, dreams.
I wonder how are lottery sales?
You know what? I don't know. I haven't looked because ours are
Obviously, ours are nil.
Ours are hours.
Hours.
And Marco and I have played. I've played my numbers here, and I'm a little mad because if I played my numbers on a regular basis, I would have hit the number a couple times. Boxed. Like I haven't. Like Melissa, Lori, and I play numbers, and so we always text each other.
Right.
And I've been a little upset because I wouldn't even bother. I mean, I play a couple numbers here and there.
Right.
But specifically, this one number came out. The pick 4 came out boxed twice. I'm a little upset because I've been playing it for a while. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, it is what it is. It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't.
However, $350
that is meant to be.
$1 million could be meant to be. Hey, John Cento, if you're still watching, I know you're asking a question here, and so we're still unsure. We're still in the holding pattern. Phase 1 looks like it's going to start Monday, which is great.
Reiterated it again today.
I did. If you look at the phase 1 businesses starting and you go to the New York State website, we are specifically listed as a business that cannot open at this point. So bowling alleys have been added to that list, but we've been identified in phase 4, as you mentioned. We here are working on what the experience might look like, and if we were to open tomorrow, we do know that we'd be at capacity levels, which wouldn't be the same. We'd have to offer every other lane, every other pair.
Right.
But when we get to phase 4, we're assuming that that's what it's going to look like also. But another 8 weeks from now, it might not. They might take back. There are requirements currently that if you're open, employees must wear masks. That's like the only true... I mean, there are other guidelines, but as far as public safety,
the one thing
they recommend having sanitation stations and doing. Right. So the things that we're looking at, and the experience will be a little bit differently. And to your point, there are procedures that other bowling centers in other states have been following and doing, and they're learning from those.
And we're looking at them and
looking at all of our
evaluating whether they it's something that we need to do or want to do.
It might require some different. It might require some additional staff to really work, especially open play, where we have to look at the bowling balls and do we keep the bowling balls in the racks? Do you not put them on the racks? Do you make them available? John Lucido, and kudos to my friend John, and he shared a video yesterday. They're reopening. He's in the middle of a construction project to begin with, and so it's been great that he's been able to do some work during that. And he shared this video of what they're doing. And I mean, you make a reservation in advance, which is one of the first things we talked about for open play. Make a reservation in advance. No on-site transactions, all ahead of time. You go to your lane, your shoes are already there, bowling balls already there. We'll sanitize those. We have to put more time in between sessions. I mean, these are all the things we have to really take in consideration. We're not totally diving in because it's still unknown. So all of those things are taken in.
We talk about, and but again, we're kind of in limbo.
The easiest thing to do will be league play. For us, the league play business will be the easiest to work with because most of you league bowlers have your own shoes, have your own bowling balls, and so that's going to be the easy part for us. It's really the and even league bowlers coming into practice will be the easiest thing. Do we consider starting there or only allowing regular customers? Do we even start with senior hours, allowing senior citizens to bowl at between certain hours? I mean, they're like the supermarkets have. I mean, there's a lot to consider. Financial. We also have to build a financial model that makes sense too. You've heard us say it before. If you've been watching, our business was never designed to be operated at a smaller capacity.
I mean, it's a huge building with the overhead to match, so it's
overhead to match, which those taxes, that tax payment was due yesterday that I couldn't pay. So thankfully we can push those off a little bit. And I mean, some of our agencies are working well, and you can defer payments.
They are trying.
So,
but still, that's going to be thanks, Kevin.
Age discrimination. I didn't say that 50 wasn't considered.
Did you actually tell Shop right, Dad?
Yeah, wait. Age discrimination, 50 here at Rabs is a senior citizen. Just saying, 50.
And Kevin is dangerously close to that.
He's dangerously close. And so good question, Ann. Of course, if you have a locker here, you'd still keep it. I mean, there's no reason why you wouldn't. I mean, we're not in a position to, we just have to look at all it's taking the additional extra steps to assure consumers that you're coming into a safe and clean environment, which we take pride in to begin with.
And even the pro shop, I mean, we've gone over some guidelines of some of the things that we're going to have to do going forward.
This is a country not heard from. Been trying to get a senior league for years. Sorry, but you have a transaction. It's the bowling ball back and forth, and so. And
we are devising a plan right now of what the procedure is going to be when somebody comes in.
And everybody's going to be in the pro shop because all of our thumbs are much smaller than they were before. I need product. I need my ball cleaned.
I mean, we're discussing right now whether we do by appointment, which is going to be difficult. But, it's going to be one person probably in the shop at a time. And, we'll
have a waiting area.
We're trying to avoid putting up a partition, but I don't know. That might be part of the discussion. But, we're trying to, we're talking to other pro shops and what they're doing. And I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have to see.
Yeah, I wish we knew more.
Yeah.
And some of this comes without plans, and I'm not talking about us. I'm talking just in general. There aren't plans in place, and a little lackadaisical on the information that we're getting from our government agencies. And I get it. They're still unknown. I can't rely on them to know everything. But we should be reliant, because if you're going to put the experts in a room, then you need to then provide your businesses the information.
Tell us what are the things that they definitely seem wishy-washy on
And
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Kevin, good point.
Yeah.
Limited hours to plug up weight holes. So August 1st, the new rule goes into play where
actually, Ray, I was having a large discussion with Ray about that. He brought it up to me the other day.
can't have weight holes,
At
can't have
about
additional
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well,
And we were talking about plugging weight holes, and yeah, we're gonna arrange some kind of a
that might be the
drop-off.
easiest. Right.
Yeah,
So that might be the easiest
like
to
a drop
drop
off. And Ray is thoroughly researched on it. So yeah, that's gonna be an easier thing.
Yeah, I will say that the good thing, many of us, if Jimmy's drilled you a bowling ball in the last couple of years, I mean, Jimmy was already trying to get away from drilling a weight hole for no reasons. And so in the last year, if you got a new ball, the only reason you got a weight hole is either by request or the ball demanded it.
Right.
And a lot of this new equipment isn't demanding it because of
they were
preparing
already
for this.
moving in that direction.
Right.
Away from
Ebonite was one of the first in. I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but in the track line, I think that there was one or two balls in one of the lines. I think it was the track one, but I could be wrong. They had designed at least one ball that was the start. So we'll see. But August 1 certainly will be a little bit different. And the other thing for the new starting. Really, it was effective bowling, but USB-C kind of backed off a little bit for the meantime of using alcohol to clean the bowling ball.
Right? Can you imagine now?
So really, it was they're not going to totally back off of it. It is something that's temporary. It's a temporary rule allowing you to clean your bowling ball with alcohol, but they've no dry substance, dry towel. So there are ways to do it, and the USB-C's looked at it as well. They've even went back and provided an option to bowl all on one lane, the league play on one lane versus a pair of lanes.
Right. So you would only really need one lane to bowl.
You wouldn't have to cross. It all depends on the size of the facility, the size of the league. If it makes a difference of using every other lane or every other pair. If you want to only put one team on a pair, then yes, it makes sense to use every other lane.
Oh yes, right.
You could have more teams bowling.
Absolutely.
But if you're still putting two teams on a pair, might not make a difference. So all these are things that we're considering. Might even listen. In some cases, you can't have congregations of X people in one space. So will that be an issue for us? If a kind of 5-man roster, 10 people be bowling in one place at one time. Again, we're looking ahead.
We don't know. Because they haven't really been clear.
And they're not setting those guidelines. The only guidelines they're setting really are occupancy levels.
Right.
And because the space is so big, it might just have to be that we can't use all of the tables.
Right.
We'll let people, or they're reserved specifically for league bowlers. No additional guests while we're bowling. Yeah. We don't know. So, we're really looking at all of these things. Yeah. We want to continue to provide a safe and really clean environment for you to enjoy. Yeah. And what that looks like. We have some ideas. So you heard them. These are, there are others, but it's more about the public awareness, letting people be aware of.
Yeah, and asking them to respect our guidelines and the things that we're asking them to do when they come in. But I would think that especially if we lean more towards league bowlers and maybe starting with them, and because I honestly feel, and this is nothing against open bowlers, honestly. But I just basically feel safer knowing that they'll have their own equipment. I just think the transition will be a little bit easier coming into it. Mm-hmm. And but then of course, we don't know. But
no, we don't know. Hey, I saw that Laura Hepworth popped in. I don't know if you're still watching, but
where
if you're
is
still
she?
watching,
I didn't see her pop in.
If you are still watching, happy birthday, Laura.
Happy birthday, Laura. And my prayers are with Jimmy. Her son is a
captain.
Pretty sure he's a captain in Bedford, Brooklyn. So I'm praying for his safety and all of his men and women, and all of the men and women of the NYPD and FDNY, and EMTs and everybody that's got to be out in this very difficult time.
For sure. Bedford, oof. You know, I think of bowling, Bedford Bowl.
Right, exactly. That's what I always think of too.
When you said that,
And
I mean,
Ronnie Anderson, our friends.
Ronnie and what was the lady who ran the youth program? Right out of my head. Fantastic lady
in Bedford?
at Bedford. She ran the youth program there for. Oh, Laura's there. You're very welcome, Laura. Now I got to think about it. It's going to come to me. There was she was a super lady. Ran the youth program there. Used to come and bring the kids for the tournaments and stuff before they had closed. And then they moved the program to one of the centers for a little while. She had passed. Ooh. Anyway, it'll come to me. Or anybody from Brooklyn, if you remember, throw it in there.
Why am I not remembering that?
I could see
because I can't remember everything. I think we covered that before. I could
see her standing there in front of me, like giving her a hug. I mean, I got this. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. I can't help it.
No, nothing for you to be sorry about. Hey, we've been sharing some old photos. It's our 25th anniversary, and so several businesses on Staten Island. You know, I noticed this 5 years ago. We had our 20th anniversary, and I had saw these signs, and a lot of businesses had been established between that time frame.
Yeah.
That are still with us or not. Fortune Garden at the time, their anniversary was the same very similar to ours. Our friends at Williams Eyeworks. Joyce Chin. No, that's not who I'm thinking of, John. Linda. No, not a Chin. Definitely not a Chin. And thank you, John, for being on the show with us today.
Yeah, John, thank you.
But in spirit of old bowlers.
Oh, is it a picture of me?
No. Not and just old time bowlers. This is
old time. Okay, I'm not old
time bowlers.
Oh,
this is not from Country Lanes. This is from Rabs Bowling on the Green.
Burton Jr. Look at him. He looks like a child in that picture.
He looks like look at those studs. There's my dad, JP. And Nelson Burton.
Good Johnny. Good old Johnny.
This had to be some sort of, I don't know. This was some event at
it wasn't that. What chairs are in the background there?
And this might not be the Green either.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
But what that sign doesn't.
All-Star Classic. Who held the All-Star Classic?
John?
Falacaro's name's on the wall there.
Maybe it is the Green.
I thought this is in my pile of from that time.
The chairs
it's hard. No, those do look like those big bucket chairs.
The ones on the
here on the right, they look like they could be the bucket chairs.
Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, they see the end of the ball return there.
Yeah, the teardrops.
Yeah.
Which later then they painted them that green. Oh, they painted everything. They literally painted everything green.
Paint is a wonderful thing. It can change your life.
It really can, but sometimes in both ways, good and bad.
Yes.
I remember the story that my mom and dad used to share when they first took over the Green. There was a white carpet in the facility, and it was like
because that's what you would do. If I was going to open a bowling center, I would have a white carpet. No, nowhere.
No, white.
Not
carpet.
even in the office.
And thank you, Rob, for the kind words. Yes, it's going to be very different for all of us. And for a period of time. I don't believe it's going to be different for very long.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have to get back to some sort of normality. But
I think you just made that word up.
Normality. Yeah. Who cares? We always make it. We're New Yorkers.
We do. We like to make words up.
And nobody's going to call us out on it. Oh,
nope.
Are they?
I did. I just did.
You really did. I mean, we each other, but somebody else. Although they're always in tune to what we're doing.
But yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be different. It's going to be a new normal. And you know what? Honestly, I think after a while, and it might take months before people start feeling more comfortable kind of going back to the way things were. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, but I think it's going to happen. I mean, they'll come up with a vaccine. Nobody will get it.
Or some other.
But people will feel more comfortable about it.
A regulated treatment is because the vaccine is like that. I mean, the flu shot still isn't perfect either. I mean, it helps prevent the flu, but right. So there's got to be something in between. We have some doctors have had some great success treating coronavirus, COVID, whatever you want to call it, with a couple of different things, and it's worked. But Is it? We don't know.
I can't. It's
We don't
very just. It's.
I'm no doctor.
I don't want to get into politics yet, but it's very disheartening when you hear about treatments being available or things that are successful in one way, but then because there's a certain monetary interest by a certain group of people or not.
But that's not new. That's nothing new.
It's nonsense.
But it's nothing new. We're talking, even go back to cancer treatments, right? People say, "Oh, I've been cured of cancer." What do you mean? In this case, our family doctor was sharing information that he has been treating his patients with X treatment of all ages, and it works. I mean, there are some people have some cases.
Yes.
He's been very lucky. Has not had any debts. He had a couple of debts, but elderly, not
people who probably had underlying symptoms.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I mean, there are ways. We'll see. But
I do believe there are doctors, and this is the crazy thing. I mean, even in conversations with my nutritionist, because she's my go-to person, that there are treatments that are there that are really successful, but I don't understand why there can't be cohesiveness. There always seems to be just ulterior motives on all sides.
Give and take.
Instead of us just being together and working for the greater good, everybody's kind of looking out for their own.
Especially medicine. I mean, this is public health.
The last place it should be.
Right.
The last place. Anyway. Enough. Moving on.
But so with the point that I was making, we can't live like this until there's a. You can't tell me because just my point is a vaccine could be 8 years from now, and we're going to live like this.
I think they will get to a vaccine in a year.
But I think so too. However, you look at the flu shot. How long did it take to develop that? And so true. And I'm not going to go run to take this vaccine.
People are not going to do. People don't get vaccinated. People don't even vaccinate their kids.
That's a whole nother conversation.
They're not. They're not going to run out and get vaccinated.
No.
For this COVID.
So Naz, I have this. I have to apologize if anybody's. I mean, it depends on how you're watching this. And I've learned this from doing TV interviews and other things that you don't wear certain.
You're a big shot.
No, but you don't wear certain clothes.
You have the checkers on.
This is the worst thing you could wear when doing anything.
Look at it. He's all pixelated.
It's bad. It's like I look like this. Looks like it could be a green screen. And so I've been very conscious of it when I'm getting dressed each day.
This is. I mean,
that's perfect. You have to
camouflage.
They tell you really anything with patterns. I noticed it last week. I had a shirt with a couple stripes on. I was like, and it's weird. It's just the way that the camera picks things up.
Yeah.
This wasn't a good.
Yeah. Now
choice.
It's hurting my eyes. Now that you brought it up, I was not even looking
at 3D. Woo. So I apologize because
I'll make sure he doesn't wear that shirt
absolutely again. Awful. It looks really bad. So anyway, I picked up on that. But I have some clothes I dropped off at the dry cleaner, and then we were washing stuff. I've been holding off on getting like certain things clean. I'm trying to go through things. Yeah, it's actually helping me. Trash. Right. Actually, I don't like this one. I have the donate pile. I have the trash pile. So the bag goes, trash bag goes. The donate pile keeps getting larger because now I'm just putting that off of bringing it somewhere but that's also the challenge too right now. Who's taking donations? What they're taking? Right. And I have some.
Oh no. The curfew, people, just in case.
Funny. Oh, here you go. I have my phone on silent, so I don't. It doesn't go nuts like that.
Well, I had mine on silent.
Last night we were watching TV, and it came up.
Yeah, that really scared me.
Yeah. So everybody.
The last time I was in this building, or one of the last times I was in this building and heard that was Sandy.
Oh, so I love on a league night when the Amber Alert comes along and you hear that.
Oh yeah,
throughout the whole place, it's like.
Well, you got my attention now.
You do. Hey, so we've also been sharing a meme of the day, and so in bowling spirit, here's today's meme of the day.
Yes.
And this is so fitting because when we come back to bowling after not bowling for so long,
expecting kind of bowl in a fish fry. Oh,
look at him! Just a classic.
The Big Lebowski. That is a funny.
And he's a funny dude.
He's a funny guy.
I have to say, one of my favorite characters is Dan Connor.
Really? Of all the television characters,
One of his,
Oh,
one
okay.
of his, he
Yeah.
portrays
yes, that's
one
a
of
good
my
character.
favorites. And I've always liked that. I've always liked that show, regardless of her actions, pre and post, whatever she's done in this crazy
Right.
world.
She's
nuts.
She was funny in
She's
that show.
funny.
Yeah, she definitely
Roseanne
was.
Barr
Right.
is funny. And then when they came, I have to say, when they came back, the show it wasn't terrible either.
No, it wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. And then now without her,
she made
I
a
will
couple-
say it's not the same without her.
No.
They're all funny,
Yeah.
but they're not the same.
Well, because
funny.
she was the center. I believe that everybody feeds off her kind of personality and her, just her as the mom.
Yeah.
It's like any family. I think the mother a lot of times is the center of the family, and people feed off
She
that.
definitely carried.
Yeah.
Classic TV.
Classic
Hey,
TV.
so you finished. We haven't talked about TV in a little while, in a couple of days. So you finished Money Heist.
Anxiously waiting for the next season, which I don't know, probably 2 years from now.
Because they can't film right now. So you've been watching Dead to Me.
Yes.
Did you finish that yet?
No, I haven't watched in in 2 nights maybe.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm watching Dead to Me. I watched Songland last night. If you don't watch that show, you like music and you don't watch that show, again, you're missing out. That show is great. They had BB Rexa on last night.
I still haven't watched it.
Frankie, got to watch it.
Still haven't watched it. It's funny. We were just
Really?
we finished Killing Eve. We found a couple shows, and that wasn't one of them. But I should go on and really look. I like that. I think that's
Just
totally
to
us.
see the whole process of how they write a song.
I
Because
know.
they come in with the song written already by the writer, but then they have these 3 amazing people that's what they do. They write songs, and they're producers, and they take the song and they just like riff, like, oh no, what if we, and this part, I mean, right there, like in front of you, they're making to me, it's amazing.
Ronnie, did you finish? I'm putting you on
Oh
the spot.
yeah, Ronnie, where are you
Ronnie, did
in?
you finish Money Heist?
Where are you in the heist?
So I want to know where you are, because I don't want to talk about it. I mean, I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah, that was one of the few shows. I don't know if I just got. I think that got better as it went along.
Yeah,
Not that it wasn't good in the beginning, because it did catch you.
Well,
but
that's stupid.
It
They
definitely.
all kind of have that little middle stupid.
Yeah, but I thought as that show went on, like I thought the last part 4, I thought that was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I guess too, they kind of went into the backstory a little bit on some of the characters.
Yes, which I liked. I like when shows go and
Yeah.
highlight, but because then it's almost like they did that in Killing Eve. They spent a
But
couple
then you
of
always got to
episodes
wonder: is
digging
this
into
person dying? Is that why they're telling
right,
you
why they
about
do.
him?
Well, because if you ever watch Grey's Anatomy, you're trained that when they start doing that, that's like the end of the road for them. But actually, more so, Criminal Minds was really good at that. They always dove into Criminal Minds. Always dives into their characters one by one.
Yeah,
and but then you realize, oh boy, something's gonna
happen with
But
them.
they do it on purpose, because then they use that to bring somebody from their past
See,
in.
Ronnie, get through it. It gets better. Get past that.
Oh, you got to go back on,
I
Ronnie.
felt the same. I felt the same way.
Yeah.
After that,
Oh no, we
heist
were
was
hooked.
over.
That show, I'm telling you, I'm never on the literally on the edge of the seat,
Yeah.
the couch.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen? Like
Yeah.
every time I turn around, like
I know.
I couldn't believe it. It picks up.
It definitely gets better. Definitely.
It gets exciting.
Get past that. Get past it.
Put it back up. Put it back on.
Get it back on.
So Killing Eve was kind of that way, which is wasn't new. I mean, just this last season was
Right,
new. So
right.
we caught up so far. We couldn't watch the episode 8 of this last season because it aired on Sunday. So we finally watched it. So of course it was the first one with true commercials we had to watch.
Right, which stinks.
But that show had a little bit of a fall off and got
Right.
stupid. And then as it finished this season, it got really good.
Yeah.
Which got you hooked to say, okay, I want more.
Yeah.
But they dove in a little bit to the personal stories.
Right.
So, and now we've started watching, this is stupid TV. It's good. It's a little stupid, but it's good.
Just admit it, whatever it is.
It's the Baker and the Beauty.
Oh,
Baker
I
and the Beauty?
saw that.
I mean,
Is it the guy that he
Cuban family with
yeah.
the bakery falls in love with the
the
superstar.
superstar? Right. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
Concept's great.
I saw the commercial. It looks cute.
Yeah, and the dynamics are really good and almost really believable. Like the parents in that show, they're great together. Him and the supermodel are great together. There's the cuckoo ex-girlfriend.
And then the sister, right?
The sister, yeah. There is a nice. It works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's camp. It's a little campy.
Well, yeah.
That's why I say stupid.
Right.
But it's written really well. So like we're a little hooked on that. I was like, all right, I don't know how
I'm gonna
far
have
it
to check
goes.
that out.
I think it's one season. We're almost
I
halfway
think
through
that just started.
I think it's we caught it on demand, went to go rent it, and rented it, and then I realized it was on Amazon. Like I didn't, because I was trying to figure out where it was, where
so
it came
many
from.
streaming things. It's so hard to keep track of.
So I paid for something on top of already paying for it,
you already had it,
which drives me nuts because it didn't. We did it too fast, not looking for the channel, and then didn't look for it elsewhere. But it's
live and learn.
Yeah, you just. I don't want to watch the news. I just need something. I enjoy cooking dinner. Watch some stupid TV, and just take advantage of it while you can.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to, that's what I feel like we're here for sometimes. Just to take a break from the news. Yeah. There's nothing going on good out there. I shouldn't say that. There were a couple of good.
There were a lot of good things happening.
There were a few good things that the news kind of focused on, which was nice to see. A couple of bonding moments between protesters and the policemen. Some of that stuff is nice. Just people hearing each other, and I think that's more of what we need in this world.
Did you see the story with the sheriff?
That guy was great.
I mean, he's
march with us or whatever they told him.
They marched with us, and so they put their batons and their guns. They basically said, "Hey, we're not." And I think and I also believe that's what some of our elected officials really want. Nobody wants to be afraid of the police. So he took that on his own. And he admits he didn't know
what the reaction was going to be,
and he didn't even know he was going to go in and do that.
Right.
But he just stood there and just saw this, and then they marched together, and I thought that's perfect.
Yep.
I mean, that's what this is about.
Yeah.
But it's so disheartening to turn it on. I just don't want to watch any of it. I just want to watch something stupid. I want to laugh. I want to enjoy.
Livelihoods being destroyed by.
We went into space this week.
We did go. That's what I watched an episode of.
How cool is that?
Space Force, I think it's the name of it. With
yes, Space Force
with Steve Carell. I watched it. It's a typical Steve Carell, and it is funny. I figured I would watch it. The day the space with the rocket went up. So it's kind of funny.
And so now that I'm following NASA a little bit more, I've been going on and watching the videos, and I have to say it's really impressive. They're at the International Space Station, and they've been airing some stuff. Somebody made a silly joke that now they brought Corona to the space station. And I hope that, mission accomplished. And so the mission's not over, of course.
Right.
They're going to come back, and then they want to get back to the moon. They want to get back to, the ultimate is to put people on Mars. I mean, this partnership with SpaceX that's been developing over a period of time, 10 years, that's now been, some argue that it wasn't funded. It was funded.
Right.
I don't care what the deal is. I think it's exciting for
of
people
working together.
Yeah.
Different groups,
private and public sectors coming together.
Yep. It can be done.
100%. Well, I think we should be proud. I was watching on the NASA. I watched the space launch after, the week before. I was watching it 17 minutes in, and there were about 600,000 people watching just NASA's Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Let alone how many people were watching
on TV.
Everywhere else.
Right.
TV, other stations. Yep. So which is cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Naz, we got a great week ahead of us.
We do.
We'll keep talking food. Pam Silvestri is going to be in the house.
Can't wait to talk to Pam.
Another friend, Corey Shifter from Casale Jewelers, is going to join us.
Oh, Corey, is he bringing jewelry?
Maybe he is. Maybe he'll bring you some diamonds, some bling.
Yeah. I'm not a bling person.
We're spending some time. We want to talk to our fellow
business owners, how they're getting. And listen, Corey is he's like a. I consider him like a true Staten Island business, or like a survivor, and always being innovative and trying to give back to the community.
He's the modern day Crazy Eddie.
He is.
And he's okay with that.
He's
He
fine
wants to
with
be
that.
Crazy Corey.
Yes, yeah, he's
Innovative, always trying something
always
different.
trying
You walk in,
something
there's
different.
and the last time I was in there, he was just setting up a promotion where there was a lockbox, and you have to, if you make a purchase, you get a key, and
Right.
I'm just looking at him going,
yeah.
he goes, but you know what?
Always
These
something.
they work. It's just
Yeah.
to get people in the door to be thinking about him.
Yeah.
They do the run,
The run for something for the ring.
the run for the ring, or whatever, the race for the ring.
Race for the ring.
He's cool. So he's going to be with us this week. Joe on Saturday. Joe Cal's going to be back in the studio
My
with,
friend Joe Cal.
PBA champion Rhino Page.
Rhino's on Saturday. Awesome.
So Rhino Page is going to join us on Saturday.
He's
Some
gonna,
of the young blood, which he's
is he going to drag himself off the golf course to come in? Or is there rain supposed to
hold those questions about golf and Rhino. He's been spending a lot of time in the golf, and you know, of the younger, he will tell you, and we're about the same age. He'll tell you of the younger guys. He's one of the older guys. He
he definitely is
he's like
he's a senior junior.
He really is. He's in between.
Yeah.
And he's had some great success in the last couple of years. So
yeah, well, he's a great boy.
we're gonna talk to Rhino. So
Rhino Pellegrino.
both him and then Andrew Kane is also going to be on the show next week.
Andrew.
So both of them asked the same question. You ready for this one?
Can't stand
People, I get this question often, but not really. Well, how long is the interview of the show? I said plan for 45 minutes to an hour.
Right.
But it depends on how much you talk.
Right.
And I specifically said that to the two of them.
And yeah. Okay.
And both of them laughed.
Right.
Because we know that they're my friends. I love them dearly.
But
They talk. And not saying that we don't. I mean, we do.
yes, but
and if
know
they're tuning in, it's the truth.
I know about the phone calls with Frankie and
Andrew and I spent lots of time on the phone.
a
So
lot.
PBA champion Ronald Page on the show this Saturday. Friday, Andrew and I are going to be on the USBC the Sport of Bowling show with Chad Murphy. I don't know what.
Tune in
on the USBC Facebook page. They've been doing a show. They have 3 or 4 different shows because now I'm confused, but I've watched a bunch of different ones. They have the Open Championships, and it's all through Bowl TV. So some of the content is hidden behind Bowl TV. Some of it is on Facebook. They do
cool.
the Open Championships where they highlight some champions. Great conversation. Bo Gershon, Wendy McPherson. I mean, some of those have had some
of the
great
people they
success.
stole from us, but yeah, God.
But it's true. And then they do the Gauntlet, which I think is genius. So Kurt Von Kruger hosts the Gauntlet, and the Gauntlet is something that came out of
that sounds like something that's on a sports show. So go ahead. What's the premise
so
of
the premise
Gauntlet?
of this show came from Chad's staff meetings. So Chad would have a staff meeting, and I haven't been a victim of this. Oh no, I have. I can't say that. I've been a victim of the Gauntlet. So each staff meeting, they open it up with the Gauntlet, and they bring a staff member in, and they sit in front of the room, and they interview. They basically ask them all these silly questions, and that's kind of what they do. So the last one they had the twins, and I'm sorry, I don't remember their names. Bowlers. These young ladies, they're twins, and they're not. I don't think they were together, but they're asking them questions. Oh, it was great and awful at the same time because they know nothing about each other.
Oh, really?
They do that. The Open Champion, the bowling show, which is on Fridays every.
Yeah, they got a lot going on. They're
Yeah.
keeping.
So we mentioned it last week that some of these live shows are going by the wayside because maybe they're getting back to work.
Mhm.
But we've inspired our friends. I'm going to start with Chad. I think we here inspired some people to do more, which is great. USBC spending time in this space. Today, our friend Christine D. Hart started a little show where she was hosted by Jacqueline Tacarante and JMT Media. So Christine D. Hart of Salmon Real Estate. They had an attorney, and they were talking virtual showings and what the real estate market looks like today. So I think inspired by the work we're doing here.
I would think
it gets
it
better.
is definitely.
My brother Anthony now on Wednesdays, starting next week,
I love it.
the Avenel Performing Arts Center is going to have a live show.
Look at us, Frank. a couple of hacks.
A couple of hacks, and we've inspired so many people. I don't want to take, we're not taking credit, but I think, like I said to John, maybe that little TM could become, we've got an FWNL. four little letters, or FFN. Just put a little FN, and you could say that's your thank you for the inspiration. I don't know why the phone is ringing. The phone shouldn't be ringing. The phone is ringing. The phone rings all day, but it shouldn't be ringing because the phone is off. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, so we got a great week ahead of us.
Looking forward.
We're glad that you
forward.
found, if you're watching us for the first time, welcome to the Insanity. Welcome to the Inner Sanctum. Welcome to Rabs Country Lanes and Live from Rabs. And we look forward to, we're here every day.
Every day.
Unless we play hooky, which we only played hooky once.
Right. Wait.
Any other days, we took holidays off.
Yeah. And it was Mother's Day. It was Memorial Day.
And Easter. To think that we've been doing this for 70 episodes.
70.
That we've had 4 days off. We're going to get another one.
Yeah.
Father's Day's coming.
That's right. Father's Day's coming.
We have something to look forward to. We're going to day off. Unless you want to play hooky another day. But I don't know if our hooky days are anytime soon.
So forward, so good.
But we really look forward to being here and chatting with you and you chatting with us. And we miss you. We can't wait to see you back inside Rabs on the lanes with us. And before you know it, we'll be bowling. But in the meantime, you get your bowling fix right here. Live from Rabs every day.
Close as you're going to get.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Like, share, subscribe. And I mean, if we can get up to 17 million views.
Oh, well, then we're in Pogi territory.
We're definitely monetizing.
Oh, yeah. There's no shot. We are selling out.
We're selling out.
We'll run, not walk.
We'll be here tomorrow soon, and we look forward to seeing you then. Hey,
that was awesome.
I'm still burping from that lunch I ate today, which is not good. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.